G'day, Trent from Total Tools. You may have seen in a recent video that someone broke the gear stick in our little Suzuki Swift. We're just not going to name anyone because, you know, guilty parties don't feel good. That's the offending gear stick. There's a link to the video below where we did pull that out on the racetrack. It does have a bit of a quick shift setup in it, but most of it's fairly standard. There's a weak point in the side there. Very small, thin bit of metal, so that's what broke in there. And the rest of this all in plastic and fairly flexible, and still with a fairly long throw for the shifting, which not ideal on a racetrack. So we were hunting around looking for better solutions. There's some little dodgy mix-ups and things you can do, taking shift boxes and things out of other cars, but we wanted to do it right. What it came down to was there was basically two options in the world for a decent short shift setup for a Swift. And we ordered one of them. So look what's just arrived from WK Motorsport. We're keen to open this up and see what we got. You can see straight away that it's pretty impressively packaged. What we have here, one WK Motorsports Suzuki Swift ZC32S short shifter. Gently get rid of the boxing. Look at that. Pretty impressive so far. Look at this. So we've got some bushes and fittings and instructions. Bit of packaging. Oh. So we've got a choice. Two shift knobs. This one's a fair bit heavier, machine metal. That one seems to be moulded plastic. All right. Clearly we've got to read the instructions on this and figure out how to put it all together. What it comes with, an international manual, cool sticker, air freshener, as already shown, choice of two gear knobs, and when you order you can actually pick different colours on the optional one, and some bushes and a little piece here that I'm sure has something to do with it, and a shift pattern if you need it. So let's figure this thing out and get started. Okay, so what I forgot to mention earlier on was that the two options that we found available for these shift mechanisms, they're not the cheapest things out there when it comes to this sort of thing, but we were limited on time and on choice. But as you can see so far from the packaging and what we're seeing here is the quality is pretty damn good. So nothing to complain about on that side of things. We've had a quick look at the instructions there on the QR code. It takes you to a YouTube page that has some vague subtitled instructions, but they actually don't tell you how to assemble this in the first place. So we've had a quick look, we think we've got it figured out, and let's fumble through it together. First thing we noticed was a little red cable tie holding that in place to stop it moving around. Take that off. You can see here on this one, that's basically the part that we broke off our standard gear stick, which had maybe 2mm worth of metal holding it on. You see this one's a lot sturdier. I mean, in fact, the whole thing is a hell of a lot sturdier than the plastic fantastic standard. And let's face it, it's a standard little hatchback. It's a little Suzuki Swift meant for taking the shopping bags home, not meant for slamming through gears on a racetrack. You can also see there is a big difference in size of the gear stick itself. It's supposed to give us about a 55% reduction in movement on the shift, so really keen to get this thing going. Anyway, we figured we need a 4mm Allen key. We've got to undo these that are just sitting there ready for assembly. Right, important to note that one of those screws is longer and that goes in a specific spot. So we get everything in place, get the configuration right. We know this goes on that side and this slots into there. So get your screws. And the longer one goes in that spot there. Okay, we've got this to the stage that it's ready to go into the car, and there's a couple of adjustments to do once it's in. So let me get my jumper off and this into the car and get the main part of the job done. All right, tools we've got set aside for this. You see this a lot in our videos, the 12-volt Milwaukee ratchet, awesome little tool. You can use a normal ratchet if you're from the Stone Age. Got a 12mm socket, 8mm spanner, flush cut side cutters. Got a magnetic parts tray with all the bits and pieces in we need it. We've got an extender for the ratchet and some cable ties because I like to secure the shift mechanism cables with cable ties just so that they have no chance of jumping out when we're on the track. Let's jump in the car. One of the advantages we have of working in a little stripped out car like this is we don't have all the usual trim and carpet and everything else in the way to mess us up and just slow things down, so that's a good thing. But looking at this, it still would be a fairly simple installation. You'd only have to move the centre cowling and reinstall it over the top, maybe with a bit of modification to that to make this shift mechanism fit. Right, in the pack we get these 4 little spacers that we've got to stick over the standard mounting bolts so you can get enough height to get this shift mechanism up in the right spot. On the standard setup, that connects to the side. On this one it actually connects underneath, but it's all a cable so you can just twist it around quite easily. I'm going to feed that through. Line everything up. Over here there is a collar that releases. Just pull it back a bit, get it started, and then push it down till you hear a nice snick like that. And that's in place. Now once that's lined up, we'll put the standard washers and nuts back on. Now, click this one into place. Should just be a snick, like so. Seems to be working fine. We can tighten these up. Get the next cable into place. Same thing, let that click in. And we can line that up here. I just want to make sure that everything is all still lined up to where we had it before. Now, here is a little delicate bit to do next. At the moment, we don't actually have the side cable set up or linked onto it. You've got to put this little joiner on. And one thing they say is this shift mechanism is self-centering. So as you can see there, when I let go, it's going back to the middle. Push it forward, come back. I've got forward. Basically third gear, fourth gear, feels like it's going in, but that side is self-centering. So it's important that you put this bit on, set up to where that is centering to, and not trying to adjust it in any other way, otherwise you'll throw your shift out. So we need to put this little joiner in between there and there. That gets us our side shifting, gets that other cable to operate. There's two little locking pins, one on each end. Just undo them and take them out so we don't lose them. You don't need to worry too much about adjusting now, but you want your lock nut towards the top. Push the bottom one on. And then, not trying to force this gear stick, but we need to then adjust this down until it fits easily. Get it in the right position. Like that. So that is just going all straight on as it is, under no pressure at all. We can then click that on, undo and tighten up our lock nut with an 8mm spanner. You can see now we're getting our sideways action. Get our lock pins back in. The hard part is find out where the hole is for this one. So already I can see we've got first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. It's already, I mean, it's just so much shorter than what we used to have there. It'll take a bit of getting used to. Young Toddy behind the camera's got to drive it next. He might be able to show you on the screen there some video of the car in action with the previous mechanism to show you how far we're throwing that compared to this. Now, one other adjustment we have to do. These little Swifts have a little lockout mechanism for reverse gear, so we're not hitting it. This has got a little cable set up. So we have to adjust this so that we're making sure that we are getting fifth and sixth and not going in a reverse. So I've got to be comfortable that I'm trying just to feel in the gates that is getting other gears, which it is. First, second, good thing there, you just coming out a second, you've only got to let it flick and it's going to go back to the centre for third and fourth, and then you're pushing over fifth and sixth. And And then if I pull up the gate, go right across, it goes over further. I should be able to pull down to get reverse. If I push forward, it's not going anywhere because there's no gears above that. So I reckon we're pretty good. Just keep teasing this up until it should be a smooth action. I don't want to go back down again. Get stuck on hung up on any gates. Which that's all feels like we're there. Right, just so that we make sure we get this tight, because it is a vibrating little beast, this car. A little 2.5mm Allen key in the top. Hold it. Let's do this up. We don't want to be hitting reverse gear from fifth to reverse. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, we want to do some safety cable ties, just in case. Just over the back of these cables over here so they don't pop out. We have had them pop out, but that was a whole mechanism and a whole different mechanism and cable system ago. So do the same on the other one, just a safety cable to stop them coming out. As always, we want to make sure that's not restricting anything. All feels good to me. All right, we'll start it up and give it a test with the engine running. Well, already see as an added bonus with the higher stick there, it's making it much easier to reach from the seat, especially when you're harnessed in and you can't move much. All right, here we go. First, we have movement. Second, third, fourth, it's getting harder, fifth, definitely got all the gears, reverse, which is more secure than the other one. The other one you had to hold it into gear to get it into reverse. So out, back, sixth, fourth. Well, there you go. So assembly wasn't too hard. It is an awesome looking bit of kit, thanks to WK Motorsport. Next thing is to test it out on the track, and that'll be up to young Toddy at the next round. So we expect faster lap times from him out of that, hopefully. Or hopefully it just makes it through an event without braking, but yeah, that looks really good. So, so far, yeah, it is a product that we can recommend. Well, there you go. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you soon.